the client that I'm working for. And let us begin the session. This basically is something that I understood, something that I have undergone in the past few years, and something that I would like to pass on to my juniors, and it will be a real pleasure for me to do so. And I guess you guys can see my screen. Okay, so let's begin. So the topic that I wanted to discuss with among you guys is the postgraduate studies in USA and the journey that it takes, the requirements, the eligibilities that are required for someone to pursue their masters in the United States of America. And I would like to begin with asking a couple of questions that I might not need answers for, but I would just like to put it out among you guys. So the first question that comes into mind when I want to talk about pursuing your postgraduate studies in the United States is that whether you want to pursue a master's degree in the United States, it doesn't matter what country it is, but whether you want to pursue your master's degree in a foreign country, basically. So actually, I have a couple of reasons why I would support this question. Like basically, many businesses nowadays among the country and even in an international perspective are looking for employees with master's degrees. Master's degree has become a minimum qualification in most of the jobs that people are looking for today. And basically the effort that students put into the process of developing their career has increased so much, which has made master's degree a minimum qualification these days. And in the end, this basically is something that helps give you more opportunities when it comes to finding employment. And having a master's degree basically opens your doors to multiple options of jobs that are available for you guys, which are not available for those people who does not have a master's degree in their hands. And there are a couple of basic things that you should consider when it comes to pursuing your master's. Some of those are like, should you proceed with a job or should you pursue a master's first? I have seen a couple of people, many people that I know who has worked in India or even in countries other than India, and then coming to the United States for pursuing this master's. And I've always wondered why, because you have the age to, there is a saying that once you stop studying, and if you try to pick it up in the later point of time, it will become more difficult than it was earlier. So I've always had this question of why people pursue their masters after getting into a job, having a good salary, having a good family and a public stature. And most of the people that I know have answered this once they entered into the job market and they have seen people growing in their organizations, and most of the people who achieve their goals quicker are the people who have done higher studies, for say postgraduate studies, or some people even have doctorates. So this is something that I personally felt looking at some of the people who I work along with. A person who is actually a couple of years older than me holds a very big position in my company, being a project analyst and a couple more positions. And when I look into their profiles, basically what they have done is they have streamlined their focus, and they have chosen which course or curriculum or career goal that will take them in the path in which they desire. And the reason why I have chosen masters is basically because, to be honest, a couple of my cousins have decided to pursue masters in abroad countries, and my family wanted to do that as well. And so I hail from a middle class family as well, and the basic reason that I chose to pursue my masters in the United States is because an obvious reason is that United States is the most popular destination for someone from being an Indian guy. It is the most popular option for me, and it was one of the most prestigious options as well. And I got into this. I undertook this decision basically to improve the family status that we have. I believe most of you guys hail from a middle class family or an upper middle class family. It doesn't matter where you hail from. Your fathers have done enough work to bring you to this status, and it is our duty to get our family to the next level. And this is one of the primary reasons that I chose to do a master's and that I chose to do in the United States. And there are many more reasons other than what I've just told you guys when it comes to pursuing my master's in the United States. I have had multiple options, including pursuing my master's in London and Australia and then United States and then Canada. And the reason I chose pursuing my master's in USA is because for the following reasons. The first one is working with the key faculty in the field. Unlike the Indian education system, there are certain advantages when you go ahead and pursue your higher studies in USA. You will have direct access to your professors, and the student to teacher ratio is very good, and you will look at professors who are doing research in their respective fields. And I personally had a professor who was an aero scientist who works for the United States Army, and he was one of the most brilliant people that I've ever met in my life. And even before I started college in Auburn University, Alabama, I actually did a little bit of research and figured out that the faculty of the university that I'm going to join is one of the best. And that's one of the reasons. And the second reason is the world-renowned academia. And I believe there are around 4,000 universities across the United States, and it actually holds some of the best top universities in the world. And they also offer a wide range of degrees that you guys can choose from. And yeah, there are universities, 16 universities from the United States actually hold the top 20 world rankings. And US actually is one of the most preferred higher education destinations for students who seek to study abroad, basically. And I basically see thousands and thousands of Indian students, not only just Indian students, but students across the world coming to pursue their masters in the United States. And students can choose from any degrees starting from MS to MIS, MBA, MCA, and a lot more. And the reason that I chose MS is because MS in USA is actually a great option for those who wants to pursue their career in a research-oriented and people who seek a practical exposure on the subjects that they are interested in. Unlike the Indian perspective of education, where it is mostly theoretical base of any major, the educational system in the United States is actually more emphasized towards the pragmatic approach directly that enables a student to run show in his professional domain. You can actually streamline your area of expertise. Let's say someone is interested in more in networking and someone is interested in development, for example, Java development, and they all have their curriculum, and they can actually choose from a variety of options. And the next one is the academic flexibility that I would like to mention. And the education system in the United States, they basically follow a credit-based system, and every subject that you choose from actually holds certain credits, starting from 3 credits to even 5 credits. And you actually get a very good infrastructure, lab facilities, and the top tier software that are available in the market today. And the education is more actually application oriented, and basically every semester that you do, you actually have to complete an entire project. You have to develop or build a piece of software that helps the society in some way. Even for your personal use, you can do whatever you want. This and the professors will guide you through the entire process. The actual project, the final project that we do at the end of our bachelor's engineering, you will have to face more difficult projects even before completing a couple of semesters in the United States. And you will actually have full liberty, 100% freedom to choose from different specialization courses, and they are actually tailor-made to make it choosing the right additional electives such that it is made only for you on your own interest. And similarly, you will also get opportunities to opt for different certificate courses and projects, internships that actually boost the probability of your employment. And the other option is exposure to different cultures of the world. And if you look at a perspective of the world, U.S. universities get many students from different parts of the world. I myself had my fellow students from Chinese, Iran, Africa, Indonesia, Thailand, and many more countries around the world. And this basically opens up your mind to a vast and a more expanded world. And the next one is career opportunities. And just like most of you guys, I initially chose to go for a regular job in India, and I realized this option, pursuing my master's in the United States option, only after I completed my final year, and I started working only after that. And if I had stayed in India, I would have definitely, I believe, I would have definitely gotten a good job in a reputed company. But pursuing my master's had opened, a wide range of career prospects, and the degree that I hold from the reputed university, it actually widens the scope even further. And due to like various insights into different fields of study offered by the universities in the United States, it broadens the spectrum of a career path that the student you would like to choose from. And the other one is, I don't know if I did choose this for this exact purpose, but one of the most important aspects to look into is the research and training opportunities. Students across the universities, they are provided with research and training opportunities to at a graduate level. Basically, a student can help a professor in their research. The students are provided with stipends, and some students have even gotten 100% scholarships with an additional pay of more than 2 lakhs. And I tried my level best to achieve that, but I think I'm not smart enough to get 100% scholarship. And the next is the use of technology. It is actually the U.S. education system has made sure that all spectrums of different education sectors are well equipped with latest technology. And for example, you will have a top tier learning experience when you join a university in the United States. Not just any university, but certain universities offer even Google Fiber. I myself has experienced an internet speed up to 300 megabytes. I don't actually remember, but you will be provided with the technologies that you guys can make use of, and it will definitely help you by introducing you to new methods and skills and it will definitely boost your learning curve. And last but definitely not the least is the higher earning potential. Just like I said, the income potential is probably the main reason most of the students pursue a master's degree in the first place. And by no surprise, I was one of them. And because whether we want to admit or not, an individual's quality of life basically differs, I believe, when his salary is made out of high figures. And obtaining a master's degree has certainly helped me. And there are a couple more reasons that I've had when I chose the United States option. Is one of them is living the American dream. I believe all of you guys have seen movies where people go and enjoy their heart out in the America when they come to study their masters. I wouldn't say that's 100% true, but some aspects of that is true. You will have complete independence, and it is expensive, but if you work hard, you'll definitely have a really good time in the United States, actually. And yeah, so the biggest question mark after you guys decide to go ahead with a master's degree is making the decision. And the first question that comes into mind is the postgraduate study in the United States is the right step for my career goals? And I would definitely say it has been a great move from my end in my career wise. And I used to work as customer support executive in one of the BPOs back in India, just for the time being when I was applying for my master's, and I noticed a vast, change in my lifestyle and change in my career when I chose the option of pursuing master's. And the second one is, if you guys can afford the application process fee and the expense of attending. I myself, as I already told, I myself come from a regular middle class family, and if I can afford it, I believe you all can afford it if you really put your heart into it. And am I ready to commit to the degree course in the USA? And I'm going to leave this question to you guys for you to answer. And the last one is it worth it? That's one of the biggest questions. Is like, when you propose this option to your father or your mother or some of your most important relatives, the first question they are going to ask is, how on earth do you think is it going to help you, or do you think if it is worth it? And financially, I would definitely say it is totally worth it, because I planned the financial aspect in advance. And for example, even if I stayed in India with a very good job, I would be earning around 10 to 15 lakh during this time per year. And not to boast or anything, but I definitely make a much more income when I came to the US after completing my master's. And if in case I have to come back to India, I would definitely come back with something that I could sustain myself with. And career-wise, it is one of the best decisions that I've ever made, just like I told you guys earlier. And the next one. And these are the guidelines that I'm going to give you guys are some experiences that I've personally encountered when I'm choosing masters. And I decided to pursue my master's only after the end of my final semesters, and it was a very hectic process, and I had no one to basically guide me with. I had to find out everything by myself with the help from the faculty, and I had to figure out every single step of this process, and that is why I chose this topic to help you guys. I'm not sure if all of you guys are interested in doing it, but there might be someone, and I would be really glad if whatever I'm telling you guys or whatever the guidelines that I'm giving you guys will help someone in some corner. And the few steps that help you in choosing the university is basically getting a list of the universities which offer the course that you are interested in. I didn't want to streamline my field of expertise into very specific technology, so I chose the Masters in Software Engineering, which provides me a wide spectrum of job opportunities, and you have to really do your research on this, whether you are interested in, like I told you earlier, whatever technology it is that you're interested in. And you have to figure out what kind of universities offer that course. And the second is the most important option in this, and like talking to your tutors, I had a discussion with some of the faculties that we had at that time, our HOD, Mr. Tulasi, and Assistant HOD, Sarasu ma'am. They all helped me and encouraged me in pursuing my master's. I didn't actually believe in myself that I could achieve this, but I believe they had some good belief in me. And the third point is contacting the University of Information. And this is one of the most common mistakes that students in India basically are doing that I have seen of. You can basically contact or any university. You can even write emails to the presidents of the university or dean of the board, and they will definitely reply you with whatever information that you're requesting for. And the next one is when selecting the points to consider when selecting universities. The first one is admission standards, and there are different admission standards for different universities. Some universities require a different sort of qualifying exams, and every university asks for a different CGPA. Some universities can take even if you have 6, and some universities will offer you admission only if you have more than 7.5. And you have to choose the university that you want to go to based on your academics and the cost of attending. This is probably one of the major concerns of parents when it comes to masters. And there are different sorts of universities across the United States. Some are public, state-owned universities, and some are private universities. And the cost, to give you a rough figure, varies from $1,500 US dollars, and even some universities even offer courses for $800 US dollars. And the third option is financial aid possibilities, and this is included in the concern of your parents as well. And we would discuss more on this at a later point of time. And the last one is the location, climate, degree requirements, and duration. And when it comes to degree requirements, every university to complete your master's require a minimum credit point of 30, and one subject in the master's course varies from 3 credits to 5 credits. And so in order for you to complete your master's, to get your degree, you have to get 30 credit points, and some universities even ask for 36 credit points. So that is one of the criteria. And the duration of the course usually comes from 1 year to 2 years, depending on how you want to take the courses. You can actually take a summer break for 3 months long, or if you want to complete your master's sooner, you can actually go for summer classes as well, and you can complete your master's as soon as possible. The location and climate for us Indian people, it is one of the most vital things to consider when choosing a university. The universities that I chose had a little bit of tropical climate similar to what we have in India. I myself have completed my master's in 2 different universities. The first one that I joined was the Auburn University, and that is one of the top ranking universities in the United States, but it was too expensive for me to afford. So I later transferred myself to the University of Detroit Mercy, which is uh, in the northern part of the United States, and it has a worse weather that we could ever encounter. Uh, 6 months is filled. 6 months of the year will be filled with snow, which will make it very difficult for you guys to, even get out of your house. But when it comes to masters, I believe most of the universities offer classes either 2 days a week or 3 days a week, which gives you spare time to complete your assignments, coursework, or even do part-time jobs. So the biggest question that most of us face, and this is where I had most trouble with, choosing the university and how to apply. The first step is doing your research. And I don't know if you guys, I don't know if this is going to happen, or if by any chance some of you guys get motivated to pursue your masters in the United States because of what I'm talking today. The first thing that you got to do is research your graduate courses, and this is a very vast area, and you have to spend more time on doing this than rest of the other, and investigating all the funding options, which we'll be discussing further. I will give you guys a basic idea of how you can fund for your course, and requesting application forms, course, financial aid information from the universities. This is what we saw in the earlier slide about emailing or contacting universities for information, basically about how their application methods work, what are their admission standards, and such information. Registering for standardized tests. We will discuss more on this further, but the standardized test includes GRE, IELTS, TOEFL. I bet you guys must have heard of it. And request recommendations. This actually will help you big time when it comes to admission process. And I will explain further on this. And acquiring official transcripts, I believe, which you all will be aware of. And writing the statement of purpose. We will discuss more on this as well when I explain how to, draft your perfect application form. And yep, this point is what we have already discussed. Choosing the universities. This is the first step when it comes to applying for masters in the US, to make a list of the universities that you want to attend, or that offer your curriculum, the course that you're willing to attend. And this basically, from my experience, should be done during the months of May or June, probably in your third year, so that you will get enough time to do your research and get your application forms. So this should be done basically before around 15 months of your admission. And in the United States, the admission cycle has basically 3 intakes: fall, spring, and summer. And the fall intakes usually happen in August, in the month of August, and the spring intake usually happen in the month of January, and the summer in the month of May. And most of the students that I have seen will basically start their course in fall, due to I believe, the weather conditions. No matter which part of the country you are in, the weather is going to be cold in the later part of the year, say October through February. So that is why I believe students prefer the fall intake. And second is checking the deadlines. Every single university in the United States actually have a deadline for your application. And once you guys have made the list of the colleges, the next basic step is to check the deadlines of the courses that you guys were applying for. And universities does not basically have a common deadline for all courses, so it might vary for different universities and different colleges. And one other benefit offered by the universities in the USA is the flexibility of the course and to apply for the course plans. There are certain plans such as early admission plan, regular admission, and rolling admission. Basically, regular admission plan follows the same procedure of setting deadlines for admissions by universities every year. The regular admissions, to put it in better words, so let's say you guys are applying for a master's in software engineering, and this regular admission plan follows the same date every year. So let's say if it is on August 5th, the deadline is going to be the same August 5th for every year. And the next is eligibility. So before going ahead with the application process, it is very important for students to check the eligibility requirements for MS in the USA. Like different courses have different set of requirements, and the basic ones are you must have completed 16 years of education. This includes your bachelor's as well, and I believe every single one of you guys would have completed 16 years of education. And the standardized test is, like I mentioned earlier, is the GRE, TOEFL, and the IELTS. Like as I mentioned earlier, entry to the master's courses in US universities basically require students to appear for standardized tests that are required by the university, and this students should actually try to apply for these tests between the months of July and August. That way, it will help for them to apply for the next year. Let's say you guys are in third year, and in your third year of BE, you guys should start applying for you guys should start taking the exams. That way you could apply for the next year. And the exams include GRE, TOEFL, and IELTS. GRE is actually mandatory for all master's level programs in USA, like even management studies. Even if you want to pursue an MBA, it is required. And the requirement for this varies from university to university, and most of the universities ask for a minimum of 290. And the TOEFL is basically an English proficiency test for students for non-English speaking countries. And I would suggest you guys to have a better understanding of what these courses are and how to get these, to take some sort of training before writing these exams. And IELTS is the other one, which is also an English proficiency test. And taking IELTS actually leaves you another option to pursue your master's in. Let's say you change your mind and you want to pursue your master's in a different country, let's say Canada. IELTS is accepted across Canada as well. And I hope I'm not boring you guys. And the last one is arranging the application package, and this includes collecting a certain set of documents from your professors, the principal, and your faculty. The first one is the something called statement of purpose, which should come from your own writing, stating why would you like to pursue your master's in that specific university, or and why you chose United States for pursuing your master's. It should actually certain universities have requirements set for word limits on these. And the second one is letters of recommendation. The letters of recommendation are basically the letters provided from your department chair, your head of the department, or the faculty that you have a good friendship with. So that way they could write you a letter of recommendation stating how good of a student you are. and it is always good to have like minimum 2 or 3 letters. And the third one is the resume. And the application process in the United States basically works just like the job process. You have to build your application strongly in order to get into universities, because this is a huge competition. And in the past years, pursuing masters in the United States has become one of the most common goals of students who are studying undergraduate in India. And you have to actually prepare your good resume of the projects that you have done, the research work that you have done, if you have any, and the internships that you have done. And it basically contains academic qualifications and achievements. And you guys should be also getting academic transcripts from the MR University, including that includes your transcripts and I mean basically the same, the consolidated mark sheet. And so let's talk about funding, the most important part. I personally had a very difficult time getting funding for my master's degree. Like I told you guys, I come from a middle class family, and I had to apply for a bank loan to begin the process with. And I have troubled my parents enough for them to disown me from their family actually. And basically, bank loan is the most preferred option and is the most safest option when it comes to funding your funding for your course. And certain banks have certain requirements, and I would suggest going for bank or nationalized bank if you're going for a bank loan. And applying for scholarships. This is one of the critical processes which you have to start earlier with the faculty to get their help. And I believe our department faculty is very helpful when it comes to assisting you guys to reach your goals further. And you guys should be applying for scholarships a year or at least 6 months before you are planning to, 6 months before the time that you're planning to visit the country for your masters. And the next two are some of the most important factors or most important things that you have to look out for when you come to masters: teaching assistantship and research assistantship. Teaching assistantship is nothing but you will be provided a job from the professor that you're taking a course with, and you will be teaching the undergraduate students so that you make some money out of it. In the same time, you'll get scholarships as well. Teaching assistantships provide scholarships and monthly stipends as well. And research assistantship, it would be a privilege if you guys could, attain it. Research assistantships are some of the most difficult things that the students from India basically do. And this is nothing but almost all the professors in the United States, every single professor that you take a course with will be doing some sort of research, and you will include that as you will be performing for their behalf. And I still know a lot of my friends who are doing research assistantships for Google and for the NASA, and I also have a friend who is working for Facebook who is doing research under one of my professors. And the other option is part-time jobs. I have seen many people who, after coming to the United States, go for part-time jobs because they have a huge spare amount of time. Like I told you guys earlier, there will be the classes will be either 3 days a week or 2 days a week, so you will have enough time for you guys to go to part-time jobs so that you can at least earn your daily bread and butter, so that you don't have to depend on your parents or the bank loan for financing. And you guys can also apply for paid internships that will definitely help you in the future when it comes to job search. So, yeah, this is an area where most students get confused The first is the job search, and the next is the these are two important parts, the OPT and the CPT, when it comes to masters in the United States. Students basically will be provided with 1 year of OPT where you guys can apply for a job, and this will be available once you complete your masters, and this actually extends your visa period up to 17 months in which you can seek for full-time paid employment, and this basically provides you a pathway to the H-1B visa, the work visa, and the green card. And the next is CPT. And not all universities offer this, but some universities offer the curricular practical training where students, after completing the first semester, can go ahead and apply for full-time jobs, which is a difficult stream. And if you guys have enough experience, if you guys have done a job in India, let's say for like a 2-year period, and come to the masters, you can actually go for this option, which will definitely help you in managing your finances. And the final part is job hunting. And job hunting as an international student is one of the most difficult things that you will encounter. As you know, the employers will be definitely aware about the cultural differences and also the visa requirements when it comes to the job search. And it is basically your responsibility to provide these information to the employers. And the US job market is very vast, and I'm not going to lie, and it is one of the most difficult job markets in the entire world, because I don't know if you guys this option in the United States. And I myself, you guys will be surprised how many Indians you guys can see when you come to the United States. I personally live in a community where most of the kids playing in the streets are just Indian kids, plain Indian kids. And there are certain aspects that you have to look into when it comes to job hunting as an international student. So you have to, basically you guys should start early. Just like we are applying for jobs when we are in the final year, even before the completion of our bachelor's, it is always a good idea to start early. And for international students, it actually takes longer to find an employment than the local students. And the second point is researching your situation. You will definitely be facing a lot of restrictions when it comes to job search, and you have to know the rules and regulations for the situations that you guys will be encountering. And you guys have to make sure that you have the required visas and the possibilities of deadlines and the potential costs that you guys are going to pay. And the more familiar you guys are with these points, the better your job search will be, and it will be a lot easier. And just like we have in India, the universities in the United States offer job fairs as well, where employers will come to the university. They will set up a job fair where employers will come to the university. And I've seen many instances where students get 2 minutes to impress their employers by providing their resumes and explaining how they will be a valuable asset to the company. And this has resulted in greatly for many of my friends, and myself included. And the last point is staying positive and being persistent, because you guys will be definitely away from your parents. The confidence factor will be definitely lacking in your heart, but to keep yourself positive and being persistent will definitely help you in the job hunting. And it will definitely be exhausting and sometimes demoralizing, and we might have to fight through all of this to reach a goal. And I believe this is all I have for you guys today. And I don't know if I can take questions, but if you guys have any questions, please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Praveen, am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, Praveen, this is Niresh.
Yeah.
uh,
Okay.
Sorry, ma, I can't able to address you at the beginning of the session due to some technical issues.
It's all fine. It's all fine.
uh, I, no.
And
I thank you
I
for giving the
would like to
guidance
take.
for doing higher education in
Sure.
foreign nature.
Yeah, sure. It's my pleasure. It's my absolute pleasure.
I hope
And
you enjoy the
I would
session.
like to take the.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I would like to take the liberty because it's personal. No, but Niresh sir and I are pretty close, and he is one of the important reasons that I agreed to do this presentation. And I wanted to do something better for you guys, but due to some unfortunate circumstances relating to work, I couldn't put out a better presentation or a better topic. And I hope I get an opportunity again to meet you guys and provide you guys with some more insight or in a different topic that would be far more helpful, and it would reach a broad spectrum of people. So yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and it is my absolute pleasure. And I'm really glad that I got a chance to talk with you guys, to give some sort of information that might help or might not. I'm not sure. That might help you guys in your future endeavors. So I will thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Praveen. I would like to thank him for this wonderful session and spending the precious time for the growth of our students. As the alumni of this college, he has provided his ideas and shared his knowledge to improve our students. I thank all the participants who have attended the session with very much interest. Once again, I thanks for all. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.